They said it was a joke. A cruel joke from an alien monarch. A political farce. That's what everyone whispered when Jace Harmon, a broke and forgotten Terran War veteran, stepped off the shuttle with a shivering white dragon shackled at his side. The dragonling scales were pale as snow, eyes pink like frostbitten roses. It was ugly by Draken standards, too small, too bony and albino, which in their culture was considered cursed. And yet, King Azar of the Varnix Draken Empire had declared the gift an honor. Jace hadn't laughed. He had simply nodded when they handed him the glowing leash and said, "He speaks like us. Try not to offend him." The dragon didn't speak the first day. Or the second. They took a shuttle down to Earth's outer colonies, settling in the ruins of a war-scorched farm that Jace had inherited from his father. It was a humble patch of land, surrounded by dead woods and broken fences. But Jace preferred quiet, and he was used to living with ghosts. The dragon curled into the barn's shadows and wouldn't touch the food he left. It only stared. On the third day, while Jace was hammering rusted nails into the gate, he heard the voice. "You reek of sadness." Jace turned fast. The dragon was watching him from the doorway of the barn, wings half unfurled like torn parchment. "I reek of sweat, grease, and disappointment," Jace muttered. "Sadness is just background noise." The dragon tilted its head, its neck long and serpentine. "Do you not want me?" Jace squinted. "Do you want the truth?" "Always. I didn't ask for a dragon, especially not one the whole galaxy thinks is cursed." The dragon blinked slowly. "Then we are matched. I didn't ask for a human." Days became weeks. The dragon, whom Jace reluctantly named Ghost, kept his distance, but something began to shift. When Jace worked on the old generator, Ghost would watch. When a storm rolled in, Ghost would lie outside the house, wings shielding the roof. Once, when a scavenger tried stealing Jace's tools, Ghost appeared from nowhere, teeth bared, eyes glowing with rage. The thief ran screaming. "You didn't kill him," Jace said afterward. Ghost sat beside the shed, licking dried blood off his claws. "You would have grieved." "You don't know that." "I do. I hear your thoughts when you sleep." Jace flinched. "That's creepy." "I am what I am," Ghost replied. "And so are you. Broken things understand each other." It wasn't long before news spread. The despised dragon that had been gifted to the Terran veteran was still alive. Worse, he was thriving. No one expected Ghost to grow so fast. The albino scales thickened into armor. His wings stretched wide enough to block the sun over the valley. More than that, he began to speak with elegance, intelligence. Even the animals on the land responded to him. Wild beasts avoided the farm. Birds nested in the trees nearby, drawn by his humming. Still, the Varnix whispered. A failed dragon bonded to a failed man. Jace didn't care. He'd stopped listening to people long ago. But Ghost did. One night, Jace found him staring into the distance toward the stars. "They hate me," Ghost murmured. "You care?" Jace asked. Ghost hesitated. "I don't want to, but I feel it. Their judgment. I was bred for battle, hatched for glory, but my egg was cold too long. My wings bent wrong. My fire sputtered. I was called Ashblood." Jace sat beside him, arms crossed. "I fought in a war where my commanders called me a meat shield and sent me to die." We both got tossed aside. Ghost glanced at him, pink eyes wet. "You never asked why the king gave me to you. I figure it was punishment." Ghost shook his head. "It was mercy. He saw you limping through his palace, begging for peace. He knew I'd never survive the pits. So he gave me to you." Jace raised an eyebrow. "So we're both leftovers." Leftovers can still be strong. Trouble came on a cloudy morning. A delegation of Varnix warriors arrived, led by Lord Kazith, a battle-hardened brute who had once mocked Ghost's birth. "We've come to reclaim the albino," Kazza sneered. "The king made a mistake. The creature is stirring rebellion among the lesser beasts. The bond is unnatural." Jay stepped forward. "You think you can just take him?" Kazza didn't answer. He raised a staff that buzzed with dark energy. Ghost rose from the barn like a storm cloud made of bone and moonlight. "No," he growled. "You will not take me. Not now." "Then you die with the human." Kazza spat. The Varniks attacked. The skies turned red. Jace fought like the soldier he once was, rifle in one hand, knife in the other. But it was Ghost who became fury incarnate. His albino wings sliced through the air like blades. His fire, once weak, burned violet and hot as plasma. Varnik's war beasts fell screaming. The warriors screamed about prophecy and monsters and the Ashborn WRM. Kazith was the last to stand. "You are an abomination," he roared, swinging his staff at Ghost. The dragon caught it midair with his teeth and shattered it. Then he spoke. "No, I am his, and he is mine." Ghost fire lit the sky. When the smoke cleared, the barn was broken, the field scorched, but the two of them stood unharmed. Jace coughed out soot and leaned against Ghost's side. "You good." Ghost let out a rumbling laugh. "Better than good." In the days that followed, Varnik's emissaries returned, this time with caution and apologies. Rumors swirled that the albino was not cursed but blessed, that his bloodline had awakened something ancient, that perhaps the bond with the human had changed him. Jace didn't care about any of that. He only cared that Ghost stayed. And Ghost did. A month later, they stood side by side on a ridge, overlooking the valley they now guarded. Crops were sprouting. The land was healing. "Why do you stay, Ghost?" Jace asked, scratching under the dragon's jaw. "Because you never flinched," Ghost said quietly. "Not even when everyone else did. You're not so scary." "I was," Ghost whispered, "but you saw past it." Jace smiled faintly. "And you saved me from rotting in my own bitterness." They were quiet a long moment. "You still reek of sadness," Ghost said, amused. "Yeah," Jace replied, "but you're learning to live with it." "So are you." The man and the dragon watched the stars rise, two forgotten souls no longer alone.